Okay, if you want to write V, you just need to know the unit circle. You guys know the unit circle?
No.
What?
I kind of forgot.
How do you not know the unit circle?
Because we...
Okay. All right, I'm going to do this one right here, 53.
No, you did 57.
No, I'm doing this one.
You did 57.
No. Okay, so it's the length is 7 over 2. Okay, what is the vector or the point on the unit circle that has 150 degrees as its angle? That's what was that? Like if we go around the circle, 150 degrees, isn't that like right here? It is, did you say 5 pi or 6? Oh yeah, but no, what are the coordinates there?
Oh yeah, no.
No, negative, rad 3 over 2, and 1/2. Okay, now, vectors are kind of funny, or kind of silly. I mean, you just put pointy parentheses, they become vectors. And if you multiply out the magnitude, that's going to be the vector. So it's it's going to be negative 7 rad 3 over 4, and 7 over 4. That vector right there is V. Okay, you just need the unit vector, and then you need the magnitude. You multiply them together, and that gives you the vector you're looking for, which is V. Okay, now these guys over here are pretty different because they tell you you're in the direction of that vector. Now, I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. I is your unit vector 1, 0, and J, that is your unit vector 0, 1. Okay, so if you were just to write this, you just need the coefficients because what's multiplying to the I? A 1. And so you're just going to get 1, 0. What's multiplying to the J? 3. And so if I multiply 3 times that, I'm going to get 0, 3. And so if I add these two vectors together, I get 1, 3, which is just the coefficients of those two variables. Okay, so we're going in this direction. The vector has that length. So let's check it out here. 1 and then 3 is way up here. So we're gonna say that our vector looks like this. I'm gonna draw it like vector style. I knew you'd like that, Caitlin. No, just stop talking. Okay, so we have to be pointing in this direction, but it has to be of length 2. So how do we do that? Before, we could take the unit vector and multiply it by the magnitude, and that would make the unit vector that long. So what would you do?
Is it not just 2 sides?
No, it's not, because this is not a unit vector. In fact, if you wanted to find the length of that, we could use a triangle right here. Or you guys can use, what's that called? The magnitude, where you find the magnitude of this. The magnitude of this would be 1 squared plus 3 squared, and then you just take the square root of that, so it would be 10 square root of that. So the length of this vector right here is actually rad 10. You can't just multiply that by 2 to get the length of it. So what I have to do is I have to use the magnitude and make this into a unit vector. To make that a unit vector, you just divide each of them by the magnitude. So it would be 1 divided by rad 10, and then the other one, which is 3 divided by rad 10. And I'm not going to worry about rationalizing it and getting the radical on the top because that's not my final answer. But I do know that the length of this is just 1. You don't see, he doesn't look familiar. He is on the unit circle, but he doesn't look familiar to you because it's not one of the common angles. So if we look at a unit circle, if we graph that point, it should be on here. What was that point again? It was 1 over rad 10, right? Where's my square root? And what was the other one? 3, right?
Yeah,
3 divided by rad 10.
Yes, sir.
So check that out. There it is. It's on the unit circle. So its length is 1, but we're just not familiar with the guy. Yeah. Okay. So how do we make this of length, this guy right here, how do we make him have the length of 2? Let's multiply up. Okay, so we get 2 over rad 10, which we want to change, and then we get 6 over rad 10, which we want to change as well. So it's going to be 2 rad 10 over 10, which simplifies. And the top's going to be 6 rad 10 over 10, which also simplifies. What does it simplify to? Oh, man, now we have to go backwards here. It's going to be rad 10 over 5. And what was the other one? 3 rad 10 over 5. And that is a vector that points in this direction, the same direction as that one, and has length 2.